I have really great memories when I was in about 5th grade of my grandmother in Chicago. And there was something about her knowing that every time you got a birthday card, there would be cash in it. You can count on it. All her gestures were special and fun. And the very best was when she would gather us up, my sibs and my cousins, and somehow load us all onto the L, that elevated railway mass transit system in Chicago, take us to the South Side to a Chicago White Sox game. And I mean, that was Grandma. Some grandparents show a lot of keen interest. They ask you questions, and they give you advice and little tips. This grandma hardly ever talked. She just sat there smiling, looking pleased and delighted and happy to be with us. If she did speak, and this is what I'm remembering today, it was when she was sitting down and she wanted someone to bring her something from the other room, but she couldn't remember our names. Michael, rather Joseph, rather Paul, rather Mark, and so finally one of us would get up and bring Grandma what she needed. There are many ways to confuse names in the Bible stories. So if you've ever felt like you missed part of it and you don't get it, you didn't miss it. It's very confusing. We have Elisha and Elisha. We have John the Baptizer and John the Gospel writer. We have Mary, the mother of Jesus, and Mary of Magdala. We have Caesarea Philippi up north and Caesarea on the coast. And today, we celebrate Simon and Jude. Well, we have Simon Peter and Simon the Zealot. We have Jude, Judas Iscariot, and Jude Thaddeus. Today's apostles, Simon and Jude, Simon the Zealot and Jude Thaddeus, likely in their lifetime had some name confusion. And bear with me, I tried to imagine it. In Jesus' lifetime, can you imagine the band of disciples moving with Jesus and word is getting out and, you know, who's who? And someone says, "You're Simon? Wow. Prince of the Apostles, the Rock. You're the one. I mean, Jesus must have really lifted you up to bring you to that." No, I'm Simon. I'm the Zealot. And actually, Jesus had to dial me back a bit. And then, poor Jude Thaddeus, Judas. He had the same name as the eventual traitor, Judas Iscariot. So, first of all, in Jesus' lifetime, bad enough. Oh my God, Jude? You're Jude, Judas? The CFO? The one who keeps the money? You're so close to Jesus? Oh my God, Jude. Right. No, actually, I'm the other one. And generic job description, one of the 12. And then imagine, after the death of Jesus, Jude? Judas? Whoa, I thought you died. No, I'm Jude Thaddeus, not Iscariot. For me, this helps me consider the great leveling, the great inclusive, we're all in this together, the great check your special preciousness at the door, please. This character of being a follower of Jesus or an earnest seeker of God. Our new identity embraces and honors our historical, personal, family, professional, individual identity, even as our fuller shared identity is conferred on us. You are my disciples. You are my friends. You are my chosen witnesses. Now, the early believers, most of whom first came from the same rich Jewish religious tradition as Jesus himself had come from, were now sharing the message of Jesus with the whole Mediterranean world, the non-Jewish world, the Gentiles. And earliest Christianity was reaching out two arms, first saying, Jesus of Nazareth, no, he's a Jew, and he grew up like you did, and he's the fulfillment of the prophets, and he's the one you've been waiting for. Come on in. And then the followers were reaching out their other arm to the Roman world and Greek world. No, you don't know anything about the Bible or the prophets, but this Jesus is God's messenger. It's safe to follow him. There's a place for you with us. It's the family feud that keeps speaking out in the gospel stories, and especially in Acts of the Apostles and the letters. It was the first big challenge that almost broke the community. And today we heard in the letter to the believers at Ephesus, this feud, this hidden family feud, is now front and center. But the personal, cultural, religious, stylistic, ritualistic, or just the way things I like it, preferences, are brought into a newer, fuller, mystical identity. Jesus, God's anointed one, is our peace. In his flesh, he has made both groups into one. He's broken down the dividing wall, that is, the hostility between us. This week, the church's worship life turned a corner, and not everyone knows this, but those of us who pray morning prayer each morning at 9 felt it immediately like the cold wind of winter on Monday morning, because the readings switched in their tone, jumped right into the minor prophets. By the way, that's not a great name. They pack quite a wallop. And the book of Revelation, the Apocalypse. It's a new season in the church's prayer life. From now until December, it's the church's let's get serious season. And it's mixed with the Earth's autumn cycle here in the Northern Hemisphere, where we have falling leaves, longer nights, harvest, Halloween, All Saints, All Souls, Day of the Dead. And not to be too dramatic, well, I guess it is dramatic, questions of life and death and how we will choose to pass through each. It's time to reflect on things larger and more important than our petty preferences, our default quick to take offense, to think about our dividing walls around or between or inside us. I have to admit, there's a bit of the show-off Simon Peter, walking on water here, never deny you here. A bit of him and a bit of the frightened and discouraged traitor Iscariot inside me. But also the other Simon. Yeah, I was a fighter, but I'm learning to be a lover. And the other Jude. Yeah, it's all good. I'm finding my way. It's just great to be a part of this. Today, we might each just take in the good news with gratitude that we were called to be one of the disciples, one of the followers, one of the witnesses, one of those called and sent, part of this amazing community, part of Grace Cathedral, which is the local manifestation of the body of Christ. The two have been made one in his flesh, in the body. And in the spirit of this season, we have one more name tag. For we are no longer strangers and aliens, but citizens and saints, also members of the household of God. These weeks, happy Halloween, happy harvest. Happy All Saints, happy All Souls. And what was your name again? Got it. Saint